These are the top 10 stories on TV Platinum. On number 1, in a major offensive against insurgents, the Nigerian Air Force and ground troops under Operation Hardin Kai have neutralized more than 30 terrorists in Borno State. The joint operation took place on September 5th at Darul Jamal village in Bama local government area of the state. Following a terrorist attack on soldiers, the military responded with drones, surveillance assets, and 3 airstrikes before ground troops restored calm. The armed forces said the operation showed strong air-ground synergy in their commitment to defeating terrorists and restoring peace in the northeast. Number 2, the All Progressives Congress APC has dismissed allegations by former governor of Sokoto State, Aminu Tambuwal, that President Bola Tinubu is working to destabilize the opposition ahead of the 2027 elections, while vowing to join forces with others to defeat them. In a statement on Sunday, APC National Publicity Secretary Felix Moka dismissed Tambuwal's claims as political blackmail and an obsession with power, stressing that the ruling party has no hiding time for weak, divided opposition groups and remains committed to strengthening its internal democracy. He accused opposition leaders, including Atiku Abubakar El-Rufai, Peter Obi and Rotimi Amechi, of failing to provide effective leadership, describing the parties as rudderless and weakened by internal contradictions. On number 3, Kaduna State Governor Uba Sani has rejected claims by his predecessor Nasir El-Rufai that he is one of his political mentees, stressing instead that his journey was shaped by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and the late human rights lawyer Chief Gani Fawahimi. El-Rufai, in a recent Channels television interview, had listed Sani among those he mentored. But speaking on TVC on Sunday, the governor clarified that his political growth came under the guidance of Tinubu and Fawahimi. He added that he would not be drawn into personal spats, noting his focus remains on delivering development to the people of Kaduna State. On number 4, Northern Ethnic National Forum (NENF) has called on President Bola Tinubu to declare a state of emergency on security and immediate dismissal of the service chiefs. In a statement by NENF convener Dominic Alancha on Sunday, declared that despite Tinubu's economic reforms and security in the north reflects leadership failure. The forum accused service chiefs of failing despite huge security funding and demanded a fundamental overhaul of the security architecture. It also called for a cabinet reshuffle, criticizing underperforming ministers and urging President Bola Tinubu to appoint doers, thinkers and strategists who can deliver results and build goodwill ahead of the 2027 elections. On number 5, the African Democratic Congress ADC has accused the All Progressives Congress APC of behaving like a terrorist organization by sponsoring thugs to disrupt its meeting at a church in Alimoshe local government area of Lagos State. The gathering, attended by leaders including Badebo, Rhodes Fever, turned violent as attackers allegedly destroyed vehicles, spilled blood, and carted away properties. In a statement signed by the party's National Publicity Secretary Malam Bolaji Abdullahi, the ADC condemned the invasion of a church premises by government-backed political thugs as an act of desecration. The party urged the police force to resist being used as a tool of partisan violence. On number 6, troops of the Nigerian Army under Operation Fasten Yama on Saturday clashed with terrorists in Power Village, Kankara local government area of Katsina State, killing 23 and rescuing 23 kidnapped victims, with support from air and artillery fire. The 23 victims, 12 women and 11 children, were freed after a first gun battle, while motorcycles, spare parts, farm machinery, and foodstuffs seized from the terrorists were destroyed. The army vowed to sustain pressure on criminals until peace is restored and urged the public to provide timely and credible intelligence. On number 7, indigenous people of Biafra IPOB has dismissed what is described as futile attempt to link its leader, Nnamdi Kanu, with the activities of Simon Ekpa, who was recently convicted in Finland, insisting that such propaganda has collapsed. In a statement by its spokesperson, Ima Powerful, IPOB described Simon Ekpa as a deranged criminal exploiting Nnamdi Kanu's detention. The group insisted that no international body recognizes IPOB as a terrorist organization, blaming the Nigerian government for ignoring court rulings, discharging Kanu and creating room for opportunists. Powerful also commended former NCP presidential candidate Martin Onovo for his principled stance against attempts to link Kanu with Ekpa's conviction in Finland. On November 8, the FCTA Police Command has begun the probe into the suspected suicide of 30-year-old IK Ojo, who was found hanging in his residence at Kagini, Dede, Abuja on 5th of August 2025. Police operatives from Dede Division evacuated the victim to Cobra General Hospital, where he was confirmed dead. His body has been deposited for autopsy as detectives work to uncover the circumstances behind his death. On November 9, National Drug Law Enforcement Agency (NDLEA) has dismantled a major international drug cartel with links to Nigeria, the UK, Brazil, Australia, and the UAE, following 2 weeks of coordinated operations in Lagos State. NDLEA spokesperson Femi Babafemi said the operation began on Tuesday, 26 August 2025, when officers at the Lagos Airport Export Shed discovered 76 cartons of textile materials destined for Australia, concealing large quantities of cocaine. Babafemi said the operation began with the arrest of freight agent Olashupo Michael Oladimeji, whose confession exposed the cartel. Its leader, Muazi Ogunbiyi, was later arrested with 10.9 kilograms of cannabis and a rifle, while member Shola Adegoke was caught at the cartel's hub with 9.6 kilograms of cannabis and a Range Rover. Both former UK convicts had reconnected with international drug networks after their release. And lastly, Association of Residents Doctors Federal Capital Territory has embarked on a 7-day warning strike over poor working conditions and systemic failures in the territory's health sector. In a communique signed on Monday by its president, George Ebong, and other executives, the doctors decried manpower shortages, non-functional equipment, unpaid allowances, and the pressure of being forced to cover multiple departments. The doctors called on the federal government to act swiftly, warning that continued neglect could trigger a collapse of the FCT health system. And that's the top 10 stories on TV Platinum. I am Hakima Dada. Do well to subscribe to all our social media platforms for more news updates. Thank you for watching, and bye for now.